is something I've always so I was on the gram, and I was reading this thing, and there's this thing, and it's like this lady was like, someone asked me, oh, why don't you have children? Yeah, you should work on that. And she was like, well, I've had like seven miscarriages. I sent that to you, right? Yeah. And the person was like, oh, then the person got really like in their feelings, and like I'm like, you're lucky it wasn't me, because I would have been like, man, you're married to a boxer, like, are you just getting hit in the stomach? And the thing is, like, I don't say that to be disrespectful, but I say that because a lot of people say that they want kids. They don't want kids. It kind of goes back, to me at least, and this is my opinion, back into selfishness, right? If you want children, there are a lot of, just like you, certified pre-owned kids walking around here. There are a lot of children who need a home. You don't want a child. You want another you, basically, right? Like, if you're trying to have kids, let me tell you something. If I'm trying to have kids and after the third time it's not happening, I'm going down to the lot and picking me a CPO kid. All right? They come with a warranty. I can return it when I need to. Like, if I really wanted children, if I really wanted to have an impact on someone's life and raise them in my own image, I would go pick a kid up.
I mean, I think that's if you can't have kids, but you want kids. That's an option. But I feel like, actually having someone who is a direct bloodline of you and a reflection of, you and your spouse, I think that's different than going and adopting a child. Because you share blood.
And?
I mean, I don't know what more to say.
Exactly. Like, you don't have a good reason.
That's your opinion to that, and I just think,
bro, you are a certified pre-owned.
Yeah. Okay.
So, like, you're fighting against your own people.
No, I mean, because my mom wanted more kids, but she said, I don't want to have another kid.
Yeah.
It's a lot on the body, but she wanted, more people.
She wanted more kids.
Yeah.
But like, what I'm saying is, she recognized that it's not necessarily about the having it. It's about having a child that you rear as your own and imprint your values into, right? Like, you could have a child right now. I mean, basically, this is what happened. Someone had a child and they gave that child up. You might share blood with your biological parents, but your rearing, your attitude, your mannerisms, most of the things that make you who you are is from the education and rearing that you got, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what does that, like, how far does, the only thing I think the farthest that blood goes is probably if I need a transplant or if I need to know about any historical ailments in my family. Otherwise, what do you need to have your own children for?
Well, 1, I'm not in a relationship. 2, I'm not married. 3, I don't have any kids. But what I can assume would be is the actual process of having a child with you and your spouse, the connection that you have to bring and birth a child in this world is probably life-changing. Well, actually, it's not probably. I know it is life-changing. But me being someone who, not any of those, I don't really understand.
Can you wait? So you're saying like the act? So basically, what you're saying, and I might be a dick for this, is so that you and your partner can have a better relationship, you're going to bring another person into the world who you might raise wrong, just so that y'all can have some free counseling.
I mean, not free counseling, but in terms of, going through the pregnancy process, going through that together with someone, that you love and growing and,
What, just to leave after the kid turns 3? Like, I don't...
Don't bring your personal
saying,
problems into this general conversation.
Saying,
yeah, again, I don't know. I don't have any kids. So I mean, that's just what I assume is different because it is, an actual reflection of you, your blood, your DNA, as opposed to, an adoption.
So then doesn't that kind of go back into the sympathy and empathy thing? Is like, we are so selfish that we're only going to make sure that we take care of things that are ours. Right? Basically, because what you're saying is you want to take care of something that is yours, that has a piece of you in it, so you know that it's worth taking care of, because the child is an extension of yourself, right? So you're only going to take care of an extension of yourself that has pieces of you in it, right? Isn't that kind of selfish? Rather than saying, hey, there's a child who needs a home. It might not be my child, right, biologically, but I'll raise it that way and impart it with the knowledge and wisdom that I know so that I can have its best chance at living a life. Like, that's what bothers me, is a lot of people say, I want kids, but I can't have kids. You might not be able to physically have children, but if you really wanted a child, there are orphanages all over this country where kids are getting, foster homes, I've read the stories and it really bothers me. The amount of children who are getting like sexually abused, raped, beaten in foster homes, and then people have the audacity to say like, I want children that I can't have children. Shut the fuck up. You can go adopt a child who's living a rough life right now and give it a good home. But because of your selfishness, you want something that is your own. Because at the end of the day, it's about you rather than giving to someone else.
I would say that's the case if you physically cannot have kids, but you want kids, adoption is it's a great
option. If you physically cannot have kids, but you want kids, but you say because I can't have them, I will not have them.
Do you really want?
Do you really want children,
kids, or do you want?
You just want you like
me. I don't know because I'm not in that position, so I can't accurately comment. It's just based off of kind of what I can generalize. But if you want a kid, can't have them, there are tons of people to adopt.
My mom always said in the house, like, don't open a new box of cereal if there's already a box open.
Yeah, we used to have that too. I was like, well, first of all, those are corn pops, and I want my Frosted Flakes.
Exactly. But like, I didn't understand. And she used to say that about cereal. She wasn't even talking about this, but like, I'm applying it to this, which is there are kids who need, right? So like, for me personally, I don't really see any business of me bringing in a new child when they're children who can use my services that are already here. I don't care that much if the kid looks like me, if the kid's from where I'm from. Like, if you have a child and you were adopted as a baby, if I have a baby and like my first language is Ga, if the baby is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed child and me and my wife are Ga children, that kid is gonna speak Ga. Like, and it's not because it doesn't matter where it was born, it's what it learns at home. It will learn how to speak Ga at home, right? Like, people, we really think that what you are makes you. Like, there's this lady I follow on Instagram. I think she's from a show that I really like. Her name's like Leslie Brandt, and I think that's her now. I might be butchering it. And she's an South African lady, so she looks like an African, a light-skinned African lady. But you can see her and be like, that's a black lady. Her husband is white, and she has a son. Now her son looks like a white kid, like blonde hair, green eyes. I might be fudging it up, but you know what I mean. Looks like a white kid. How do you tell that kid that he doesn't have African, that he's not an African? If he feels like an African, if he was raised like an African by his mother, how do you tell that child that he's not an African? If that's how he was raised, that's who his mother is, that's how he believes, that's the things, if he says, like things like that, how do you tell him that he's not an African? Just because of what he looks like?
I mean, yeah, and you're stripping his identity based upon purely what he looks like.
Right?
And maybe that is why two white parents, maybe they don't feel comfortable adopting someone outside their race because maybe people around them might judge them. Maybe they don't want to have that kind of stigma of, raising someone who looks different from them because they may get, judgment from other people.
But the thing is, it's not real. Like, there's I don't know if I sent it to you, there's an article, white people adopt kids from other places all the time. I know hella Asian kids who have white parents. I know, for some reason here, I know a lot of adopted kids, right? There's an article about a black family who adopted a white child. Fucking all hell broke loose.
Where was that, in America?
It was in America.
Okay.
All hell broke loose.
Why?
Can you tell me? Why is it that white people can adopt black children and it's not? I mean, obviously it and I'll be remiss if I don't say it is an issue. It is not as serious. Like if a black kid said mom, and ran to a white kid's arms, white lady's arms, you would be like, that's different. But no one would come up and be like, is that your child? These people people would ask, is that your child? Are you okay to the kid? Things like that. Why?
Racism.
But like, and what bothered me was that there were a lot of black people who saying it wasn't right. And what I fundamentally can't understand is, you were telling me you'd rather have a child live in a foster home where they have the potential not always to be abused and not taken care of properly than be in a home where the people love them just because of what they look like. That's fucking stupid. And if that's what you believe, come see about me, because you are fucking dumb. You are telling me that there's a family that is willing to take a child, that will love that child, raise the child as their own, right? But because of some society shit that it's completely made up and false, that they shouldn't adopt that child when that child has a good chance of having a home, having a loving, caring household, and growing up to be a good person, right? You'd rather have them stay in the system and maybe perpetuate a cycle where their kid gets in the system. You're fucking stupid. I can't stand it, and it makes me super angry. And it happened on both black and white people said that. Why? Why are we gonna let societal pressures, things that they don't know what's going on in your house, right? You will let a person go by the wayside because of what other people think about you. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, and I think people do care too much about what other people
think.
And unfortunately, because you were literally supplying this kid with an opportunity that they're not going to be able to get in a foster home.
Bro, for me, my mother, so my younger sister is a diabetic. And because of that, my mother and I and my father, we all know how to deal with diabetics. And so my mother was like, I'd like to adopt diabetic children. And I never even popped into my mind what race those kids are going to be, because the issue for us that we want to help children who have this ailment, and we see that when they come to certain places the ailment isn't taken care of properly. So all we want to do at our core is help diabetic children. I don't give a shit if the kid is purple and from fucking Plexon 13. The child needs help. We're going to provide it help. And we were telling someone and they were like, oh, but you're only going to get black kids, right? Why the fuck would we only get black kids? Are white kids not worth it? Are Hispanic kids not worth it? Are Indian kids not worth it? Where's this mentality coming from where to help someone you can only help people who look like you? That's fucking stupid. It's preposterous. I don't understand.
I don't understand it either.
Like it really gets my blood boiling, because it's like you should be able to help anyone who needs help, barring especially a child. A child has not done anything to you, right? And if you're so worried about like the racism shit like that, raise a child well. You basically have an opportunity at a blank slate. You have an opportunity to take the white oppressor that you have so much hatred for and teach them from childhood, so it's indoctrinated into them the reason why things are not fair. You can even create an inside man. You could have a white kid with a black family. He becomes president and he says every second Tuesday niggas get $100. Like you have the ability to change things. Because at the ground level, children are where we stack things. At our age, bro, I can't go, like I could learn French right now, it'll be hard. If I learned French when I was a kid, it'd be a lot easier.
Yeah.
As a child, you have the greatest ability to learn and formulate things, right? So like you saying, I'm not gonna adopt a certain child, you're fucking stupid. You're dumb. You're dumb. You're dumb. You can argue with me all you want, but at the end of the day, you are a fucking stupid person.
I'm just not gonna argue against that, because I agree.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's been something that's been on my mind for a long time, and it's like I'm all in. Like people can be like, he's not pro-black. Fuck you, like suck my dick. I want the best for African Americans. I'm an African American. It would be in my best interest, right? I also want the best for people in general.
Yeah.
Because even as an African American, if everybody else is eating, I'm probably gonna be eating too. But I don't get how people. Now I'm just getting like upset. Like I don't get how people don't understand that if everybody else is eating, you're probably eating too, right? Like never mind how well you're eating. If the baseline is eating, if everybody's eating, you're probably going to be eating. Like, so let's worry about that first, and then we'll go on to the complexities of, filet mignon versus fucking Burger King.
Yeah.
So it's just wild to me, man.
For sure. I feel that we have